Not saying you guys have been here before, but they've had this problem before and they told them not to come back.
Every morning by the night I count stacks. Knew that ass was real when I hit it, bounce back. You ain't getting checks.
What? Hey, there's Tyler. Tyler's gonna read me questions. And I'm gonna answer them. You can't hear Tyler though. So I'll probably have to repeat the questions that Tyler's gonna ask. Because I don't know how to set up a microphone properly. E-Dog asks if we're gonna ride with Grommy Bear or Fooligan, and Fooligan. I've rode with Fooligan. I'll probably never ride with Grommy Bear. Bozer has asked me, what age did I start riding at? I think it was 21. Corey Hobbs asked, why do I never go off-road with Kevin? Because Kevin's a fuckboy. Now it's what?
It's on.
It's been on.
I didn't fucking see it.
Probably because it's daylight. Little dick.
Fucking bitch ass motherfucker.
Little dick. Little dick. That's a little dick right there, by the way, guys. NK Moto wants to know how I dip in on a circle. I have no idea. You just do it. Daniel A asks, I have a KTM and I ride this children's bike, and he don't really understand why we ride these children's bikes. If you don't watch the videos and can not understand why we ride the children's bikes, then I don't know how to answer that question. So Lord of Gaming 458 asks, why did I change my name to Danky? Because it's fucking dank. Michael Moore asks, what is the gearing on my Grom? The gearing on the Grom is 1 down in the front and 3 up in the rear, so that's a 1437 setup. Jason Alba asks, what is my opinion on stunting 50s? I hate 50s. I hate them. I can't wheelie them. Their brakes are there is no brakes. So I can't wheelie them, so I have a poor opinion of stunting 50s. Garrett Blanton asks when I'm going to take my Grom to the skate park. Fooligan's already done that with his Grom, and I'm not a poser, so... Oh, Alright.
Yeah, we'll get out of here.
Alright.
Alright, man. Well, that was a short-lived lot day. Jack Snowden wants to know, I've already answered the first part of the question of how long have I been riding. It's not a paint job, it's duct tape. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to load up and then we'll have to finish these questions after we load up.
Okay. I'm going in first.
Yeah. The fun killers have came to kill our fun. Alright, GoPro's back on. iGames is asking, what city do I live in? We live in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, look at that, they got out of a circle. I got out of a circle, look at that. Lachlan McNair wants to know, how do you find a lot to stunt in? And what kind of mods do you need to do for stunt riding? The lot thing's pretty easy. You just kind of go on Google Maps and find something that looks decent, and then you kind of just go there. And then if it's good, then you ride there. And if it's not good, you just keep looking. And then the stunt part question is very, very bike specific. So I'm gonna assume you're talking about a Grom. My like only real stunt parts I would need to do sit down wheelies would be just a little bit of protection, like the axle sliders and bar ends, and foot brake, maybe a dual caliper setup. I don't really know how to answer that question. That question is very vague, considering like you could have, there's so many different combinations and possibilities when it comes to stunt parts, because there's so much out there now that you kind of gotta build it and like figure out what works for yourself. But if you're wanting to like completely stun it, yeah, you want to get yourself a handbrake setup, dual caliber setup, cage, sub cage, and that's about all you really need to do anything cool on a bike. Seth Moto. I actually know Seth Moto. He's comments a lot. He wants to know if I'd ever do stunts on, I guess, a bigger bike than the Grom. That's possible. Thomas Toops. What kind of bike do I recommend up to a new kid rider? He's willing to spend up to $2,000. It kind of depends on what you're gonna be doing. If you're like younger than, if you're like still in high school, I probably wouldn't recommend a Grom. I only recommend Groms to people who's been experienced riding. A good starter bike that you're not gonna get bored with super fast is like a Ninja 650. Or any kind of like small bore like Ninja 250 bike or something. And you can find those on Craigslist like all day for $2,000. But if you're out of school, go for something bigger. Don't I would never try to recommend anyone buying something a small bore, just because you will get bored with it and you'll want to trade it, and then you'll end up upside down from trading it in, and then it's just an extremely bad deal. And I know that from experience. E-Dog wants to know how long I've been wheeling. Been wheeling for, I think I've just passed the anniversary that I've had the Grom for a year, so I'd say a year. Sony Centorbi wants to know if I've ever popped a wheelie with no hands on my Grom. No, that sounds incredibly difficult and incredibly like almost impossible unless you have some other means to manage your throttle and clutch. Jack Stain wants to know, what do I recommend as a first bike? I think I've covered this question already. So pretty much Ninja 650, any kind of 650 motorcycle, or any kind of CBR 250 or Ninja 250. Those are all really good like first motorcycles to learn on, because you can break them and they're pretty cheap to fix, and they're pretty cheap on Craigslist used, so they're not, and they're really reliable motorcycles. You can like run them without oil for like 5 months and they'll still work fine. Okay, Jack Stain has 2 questions. He wants to know what mods are next for the Grom. After the Q&A, I'm actually going to do a mod update spotlight in the video, so that question will be answered later. So my friend does not know how to pronounce someone's last name on YouTube, and his name's Jose something apparently, and he wants to know face reveal. And my face is on YouTube somewhere in my channel, I'm pretty sure, so no, not yet. Alright, well, if you guys can see that name, that's who the question is. Wants to know if I drilled a license plate to make my tag fit under the bike. No, hard. I don't know if you're from another country or not, but our tags come with holes pre-cut in them for those kinds of things. Garrett McDonald wants to know if I live in Texas. No, we haven't answered that. No, I don't. Well, I guess we covered where we live, but we didn't cover that I didn't live in Texas. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I did have some videos from Texas when we went out there for a meetup, but other than that, no, I'm not from Texas. Ali1665 wants to know if I ride the KTM anymore. I do ride the KTM. There'll probably be a video up before this one of me riding the KTM. I just ride it like once a month, or if that. Any questions from Evan Jansen is hereby disqualified from the video. Andrew Ackley's got a few questions. He wants to know how long it's taken me to get where I am with stunting, or quote unquote stunting the Grom. About a year. Wants to know what bike I started learning wheelies on. The Grom. He wants to know how long I've had the Grom. I think I've answered this. It's a year. How many times have I looped my Grom? A lot. I've probably looped about 6 times. Probably about 6 times. And he wants to know if I've looped any other bikes. I have never looped another bike. Ezra Pompey wants to know if I'd ever install a big bore kit in my Grom. That's no. There's no way I'd do a big bore in this bike. I didn't buy a slow bike to go fast. Corey Hobbs, man, you want to know if Dust Scratter's my son? Well, he was my son. I gave him up for adoption. I am Canusian 4. Wants to know why I don't use the KTM much. KTM is very expensive, and not on the standpoint of cost of the bike, but cost of being in trouble with the KTM. So we just don't ride the KTM no more. Zach Irvin wants to know what got me into riding. I don't really have like a what got me into riding. I kind of just one day went into the dealership and was like, I want to buy a motorcycle today. It's kind of a spur of the moment purchase. Frederick McCruby wants to know what color would I have my Grom if I could have it any color, and I would say blue. With bacon and egg, or cat shit, as Photogrammer calls it. Bradier wants to know, I'm assuming my worst motorcycle experience was probably breaking my ankle when a car slammed into me. It's probably the worst one. I don't know. I've had some pretty bad experiences on the Grom. You guys have seen most of them on the videos, so some pretty bad experiences have happened on the Grom. Kevin Deadman wants to know how gay I am. I'm only as gay as Kevin is, so pretty fucking gay. NK Moto wants to know what my dream bike is and what bike am I gonna go to next. I don't have I got an idea of what bike I want to ride next, but I'm not 100% on it yet. And my dream bike is probably, I don't really have a dream bike, honestly. It's not. I like to wheelie my Grom. My Grom's my dream bike. Let's say that. That is it? Oh wow, that was not a whole lot of questions.